My coworker broke up with her boyfriend, and it is because of my husband and I.
Okay. I'm a
I said
little.
not the. Oh wait. Yeah,
I'm not
we're
the
doing that.
asshole, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to confidently go in with that.
Sounds like what we've done. So
What we've done? Oh, like given good, hopefully good advice.
we've given advice. Y'all's decision on if it's good or bad. And people have responded. Yeah, I broke up with my spouse because I didn't like the way I was treated.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm also leaning that.
We've done this.
Okay. All right. Story goes as this. As the title says, my coworker broke up with her boyfriend of many years because of my husband and I. Despite how it sounds, this is a positive story and something I did not even realize was happening. So, Sean and Josh, you got it right, baby. For some context, my husband and I work at the same company, though we are in slightly different departments. We have the same shift and normally get to take lunch together and interact frequently throughout the day. We always maintain work-appropriate behavior with each other while on the clock, though if it is slow, we'll occasionally have more friendly interactions. This is like Dwight and Angela fucking banging it out.
No, it sounds more like Jim and Pam than Dwight and Angela.
I would rather you be Dwight and
banging it out in the warehouses.
Due to a contract that they have to get her pregnant.
My coworker, I'll call her Mel, fake name, started working with us almost a year ago. She is very sweet but seemed very shy and sensitive. We originally worried she wouldn't work out because it was incredibly difficult to give her corrections. Even saying something like, "Oh, you wouldn't know this, but this client will always request this incorrectly, and what they really need is this process." And she would have to excuse herself to the bathroom because she'd start to cry. I now know this should have been a red flag, but the only relationship abuse I'd seen personally had been physical, and while that could have been happening too, I never met her boyfriend and never saw any bruises. So, about 2 months ago, she told us she had moved, and though I didn't pry, I could hear in her conversation that she was not including her boyfriend in the process. I stayed quiet though, and I had my suspicions and watched her come out of her shell. She was smiling more. She became less sensitive and seemed overall so much happier. I didn't ask or question it, but simply enjoyed working with her in a better overall mood. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a lull at work and she started opening up to me. Instead of banging it out in the warehouse, bro, we fucking Mel, what are you doing? Stop talking to me. Mel confirmed she had left her boyfriend and that it had been a long time coming. But it was because of my husband and I that she finally decided relationship wasn't healthy and she deserved better. It's awesome.
Yep.
Nice.
Mel told me that she watched how we behaved with each other and initially just thought we were a unique couple with a strange personality. But we never yelled even when we disagreed and worked together to find solutions. I gotta say, that's what
she was watching them in the warehouse.
Banging it out.
What positions you want? No, not like that.
No.
Have you ever tried this one?
You ever tried this one?
And it wasn't just exclusively us. Our other coworkers had similar reaction to us when mistakes came up and disagreements happened. No one screamed or called each other stupid. We searched for solutions and expressed concerns, and no one cried. She told me she had also been afraid to see us drink alcohol because she was afraid we'd turn into lunatics. And obviously no one turned belligerent and that she seemed very unsettled. Again, no one asked because it's none of our business and just assumed she had a bad history with alcohol, which was true. She told me that on multiple occasions she had to search for her partner at 3 a.m. because he was sloshed somewhere and would berate her on the phone and also on the car ride back to their home.
Fuck.
And for so long she worked from home. She didn't know what normal human reactions were supposed to look like. She was very grateful to be able to watch my husband and I interact, how we never talked poorly of each other and only shared our healthy expressions of love. It helped her recognize she deserved better. I was very flattered and humbled to hear that my indirect actions helped her search for something better for herself. I wasn't even aware that my husband and I even had that level of effect on my coworkers.
What the fuck was I going to say? I was going to say even less guilty of breaking up a relationship than us, because we very directly are like, fuck them. This was just like a good expression, like just a good example
of a relationship.
Yeah, of a loving relationship, as opposed to just, it's not you two being like, you need to fucking get rid of that guy, which is what we
I'm sure they would have said that had she come to them for
had
advice.
they known.
But,
the context that we usually get with stories.
Yeah. But literally not your fault. But
don't blame yourself.
Well, I mean, blame yourself because it's a good thing that happened.
Thank yourself.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back.
Go on a date to celebrate it, actually.
Hell yeah.
Glad she's out of that. Sounds like she's much healthier in her workplace and everyday life, which just goes to show like how much effect a poor relationship can have on your day-to-day mental health, especially when they're that shitty, like berating you at 3 a.m. because they're drunk. Obviously not healthy. So yeah, I'm glad she's in a better spot, and it seems like her life and work are thriving because of it.
I was gonna say, Sean usually says this, when it's a positive story, there's not much to it.
There's not a lot to say. That's what I feel.
I'll save you for that, brother. I've got some comments here, and I think you guys will appreciate this. So Sire Kalat put, that's absolutely wonderful, but I'd say she broke up with her shitty boyfriend because of her. She previously didn't know any better, thought her abusive relationship was normal. When she found new information, she took the drive to act on it. She deserves insane credit for this, and I hope you tell her so. An awful lot of people in her situation won't demand better, won't make the change, so she deserves a lot of credit for her actions, which is absolutely true. She found inspiration in someone, but at the end of the day, she's the one that mustered the courage to end that shitty relationship.
Yeah. It's so tough to hear that there's a lot of people in like similar situations. That's it sucks so bad. Like I assume that's just years of like
trauma,
abuse, manipulation, never seeing like a healthy relationship, and that's terrible.
Yeah,
I'm glad that one, OP was a good example on that. Two, like what that comment said is that Mel was brave enough to actually go through with it.
Yeah,
and then other people also added additional comments. Reddit pretty much draws attention to a huge issue with online representation of relationships. Reddit is a place people turn to when things start breaking and they can't or don't communicate with their partner. Remember, survivorship bias, and don't let it get you down. Those of us in happy, healthy, loving, supportive, and stable relationships don't post because there's nothing to post about. Most Reddit posts and issues stem from the same thing that would solve them. Communication.
Yay.
Although money is the most important part about marriage, if you know, you know. Working on our ability to communicate with others is one of the fundamentals when it comes to having healthy relationships. And most posts show a failure of clear communication. So good luck with your relationship, and don't let the online representation overwhelm you.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it is true. Like Reddit is mostly either exaggerated stories or bad stories that we hear. You very rarely hear the nice ones where it's like, hey, me and my partner live a happy, healthy life, and the end.
Boring.
and if they are, they're one paragraph long.
Yeah, and they're at the bottom of Reddit because no one upvoted it.
People want drama,
People do want drama.
Yeah.
Our Oops All Happy episodes don't do well, right?
They don't do well, unfortunately. One happy story every now and then does well, but Oops All Happy? Absolutely.
But a whole episode of happy.
People are fucking sick.
What the fuck is this?
What is this?
Get therapy.